Have you felt it too? That strange stillness in the air? Like the world is holding its breath, just for you? If you've been waiting for a sign, this is it. Because the silence you've been surviving is finally about to break. There is a moment brief, electric, almost unbearable when the entire universe pauses. It's the moment before the breakthrough, before the impossible becomes undeniable. You feel it, don't you? That strange quiet in your chest? Like the whole world has stopped spinning, like something massive is approaching, but hasn't yet arrived. You wake up with a knowing, but all you hear is silence, not emptiness, not nothingness, but loaded stillness. Chosen one, that silence is ending, that something is coming, something that will shift your soul and rewire your reality. And even now, it's already brushing up against your timeline, not loudly, but powerfully. There is something sacred about waiting even when it hurts. You've done that. You've wept in silence, prayed in secret, hoped when it would have been easier to let go. You've carried light when darkness pressed in from all sides. That quiet flame inside you, it's about to ignite the world around you. The silence you've endured wasn't punishment. It was preparation. A sacred pause before a sacred arrival. Before we dive deeper, pause. Breathe. Drop your most powerful wish in the comments below and type 77 if you're ready to align. Because that number, it's the sign that what's been delayed is now accelerating. Like this video, if something in you just said, "This is for me." Subscribe to join the energy that's rising. Let's keep going. Your whispered wishes, the ones you thought no one heard, they've been echoing in the fabric of the universe. They were not ignored. They were being aligned. Refined. Perfected. You or never forgotten. The silence was not neglect. It was the breath before the breakthrough, the hush before the thunder, the calm before the miracle. And when a miracle is about to descend, everything slows down. It feels like being stuck. Like being frozen in place. But it's not. Stillness. It's sacred positioning. The universe gathering momentum for a delivery so massive it can't arrive in ordinary motion. That delay you feared was divine grace. That pause you resented was divine timing. You weren't ready before? Now you are. The gates are opening. The air is shifting. The veil is thinning. Think of the sky, right? Before a storm, the air goes still. The birds quiet. Even nature knows when something enormous is coming. That's what your life has been like lately, hasn't it? Calm, but not peaceful. Still, but not settled. Ordinary on the outside, but underneath. Tectonic plates are moving. In just a moment, I'll tell you why this aching silence was the code. Exact frequency that summoned your miracle. But first understand this. Most people give up here. In the stillness. They confuse quiet with absence. But you didn't give up. And because of that, you're about to receive what others never stayed long enough to witness. The silence before a miracle is never truly quiet. It's loud for the soul. Loud with longing. Loud with why not yet. Loud with did I miss it? But that ache is sacred, because only hearts that carry something great feel that kind of pressure. Desire isn't a flaw. It's a map. It's evidence. And your desire, chosen one, is divinely guided. You didn't imagine this. You didn't make it up. You felt it in your bones because it's real. If you're still here, your soul already knows. So tell the universe you're ready. Type I claim it in the comments. Then take a breath, because everything is about to change. You survived the silence, endured the stillness, and now you are stepping into the sound. Not noise, but divine movement, the kind that brings open doors, fated meetings, long-awaited alignment. Your miracle isn't coming someday. It's entering your field now. And that's why this is the moment your soul has been preparing for all along. In the next part, I'll show you exactly why the silence carved you not to break you, but to build the space where the impossible can bloom. You're not just walking into the miracular, becoming the kind of soul who can hold it, and now everything accelerates. Thought the stillness met you, were forgotten. But what if I told you that stillness was the very proof that something divine was approaching your timeline? Because the universe doesn't waste silence, Dot. It uses it, Dot, to prepare, Dot, to protect, Dot, to position, Dot, you see. The reason you felt like time was frozen, like nothing was moving forward, is because something was being built behind the veil. And here's the sacred truth. When it gets quiet, that's when God does his loudest work. Not in chaos, not in noise, but in deep, intentional quiet. If you've been asking, why do I feel frozen while everyone else is moving? This is your answer. You weren't frozen. You were being held, Dot, held by grace, Dot, held by divine recalibration, held in sacred pause. So what's about to erupt in your life doesn't break you, Dot. It builds you, Dot. Type held, not stuck, in the comments if this hits your spirit. What most people don't realize is the silence before the miracle. It's surgical, Dot. It removes what won't survive the blessing, Dot. It untangles what would've choked the roots of your answered prayers, Dot. It slows you down, not to harm you, but to heal you, Dot. And sometimes healing looks like nothing's happening. But oh, chosen one, so much has been happening. The most profound shifts are invisible first. And now, the unseen is about to take shape, Dot, in just a few moments. I'll show you why your doubt wasn't working against your miracle, but was secretly part of its arrival. But before we get there, you need to understand this. What feels like delay is often divine decoding, Dot, because the miracle you've been asking for, it was never just about what you'd receive. Dot, it was about who you'd have to be to carry it. And the silence? It shaped that version of you, the version that no longer chases validation, Dot, the one that doesn't beg for direction, the one that walks with quiet certainty. Even when the path is hidden, you've become that, Dot, right in the middle of the stillness. And what you didn't see is that every day you showed up. Every day you didn't give up. Every day you kept believing when the silence stretched longer than your strength. That was the activation, Dot. You weren't waiting for the miracle, Dot. You were becoming it, Dot. And now the air around you feels different, Dot, heavier, Dot, thicker, Dot, but not in a bad way, Dot, in a way that says something is arriving. Because energy always shifts before reality catches up, Dot. And chosen one, the energy is shifting. You've already felt it. The restlessness, the waking up earlier, the sudden desire to declutter, Dot, the impulse to disconnect from noise, Dot. It's all part of the signal. The miracle is preparing to enter, and it's waiting on one thing, your recognition, Dot. So pause, Dot, breathe, Dot, if you've felt that energetic restlessness lately. Like this video and type, I feel the shift, in the comments. Your words are your confirmation. Let's keep moving. Now think back all those nights you asked, did I mess it up? Did I miss my moment? Did I wait too long? The answer is no. You didn't miss anything. You were simply being timed perfectly. Because heaven's timeline doesn't operate by human panic, Dot. It's not late, Dot. It's not lost, Dot. It's divine, Dot. And sometimes divinity hides inside. They lay so that your destiny doesn't arrive to an unprepared heart. You've grown, Dot, not just spiritually, but vibrationall. By, Dot, you carry different energy now. You listen deeper. You respond slower. You choose quieter. And that frequency? That's the language of miracles, Dot, because they don't come through force. They come through flow, Dot. And finale, they entered the flow. You're no longer trying to earn what's already yours. You're simply clearing space to hold it. Why things have felt strange lately. That's why people have fallen off. Why some doors never reopened. Because you outgrew them, not out of ego, but out of evolution. And evolution, known as the sound of alignment in motion. So if all you hear right now is silence, don't panic. If all you feel is space, don't rush to fill it. Because this silence, it's not a void. It's a delivery room. You are being reintroduced to your own timeline, the one that was always yours, the one that was waiting for you to be ready. And now you are. In part 2, we'll go deeper into this arrival, why the signs are about to get louder, and how your inner world will magnetize a reality you don't need to chase anymore. Because this isn't just the end of waiting. It's the beginning of receiving. And chosen one, you're finally in position. When a miracle is about to arrive, it doesn't scream its entrance. It whispers through the stillness, and sometimes that stillness feels like suffocation, like everything is holding you in place. But it's not punishment. It's positioning. That ache in your chest, it wasn't for nothing. It was sacred. You didn't imagine the delay. But what you didn't see is that the delay was designed. It was grace. Because had it come earlier, you might have fumbled it, questioned it, sabotaged it. But now, you're not just ready, you're becoming magnetic to it. Let's pause for a second. Have you noticed how the people, places, and habits that once defined you now feel out of sync? That's not confusion. That's transformation. Comment. The shift is real, if you've felt it lately. Because that's how the miracle speaks, through the subtle, not the loud. You were never forgotten. The stillness wasn't a no. It was a not yet. It was divine orchestration, a symphony happening behind the curtain while you stood in the quiet, learning how to trust a conductor you couldn't see. And now, the music is about to start. This strange season of your life, where nothing looked wrong, but everything felt off. That wasn't stagnation. It was calibration. While you thought you were stuck, your spirit was shifting gears. Your life was realigning beneath the surface. Like tectonic plates, your entire foundation was moving, setting the stage for what's next. And here's the truth. Most people quit during this part. They can't handle the silence. They think no sound means no progress. No change means no miracle. But not you. You stayed. You believed when nothing outside confirmed your faith. You kept walking, even when the map was blank. That's why you're the chosen one. You didn't just wish. You endured. In the next few moments, I'll show you what most people miss about the stillness, and why it's the secret ingredient to receiving more than you ever thought to ask for. But first, you need to hear this. You are not being punished. You are being prepared. Doors you forgot you even knocked on, they're about to swing open. Connections you thought were missed opportunities, they're realigning. Energy that once felt stagnant, it's gaining speed. This isn't just about receiving your miracle. It's about becoming someone who can hold it. So if this message is stirring something deep in your chest, that's not coincidence. That's confirmation. Like this video, can share it with someone who's still stuck in their silence, because your breakthrough may also be their wake-up call. What's coming is not just change. It's a rebirth. And chosen one, the silence was never a void. It was a wound. And now the birth is beginning. In part 3, we're going to explore why your intuition has been so restless lately, and how your spirit already knows the miracle is not ahead of you, but breathing right beside you. Stay with me. We're only just beginning. You didn't come this far to be abandoned. You didn't walk through silence, only to be left unheard. No. What you survived was never empty space. It was sacred, shaping, unseen construction. You weren't just passing time. You were becoming timeless. You see, people think miracles arrive in moments of light, but the real ones, they are forged in shadow. They are built in the places where you wondered if you'd ever feel again, where you questioned your worth, where your prayers felt like echoes thrown into a void. But now you know that void wasn't the absence of God. It was the womb of the miracle. Let's be honest, you almost let go, almost gave up. You almost decided it was never going to happen. But something held you. Something you couldn't see but could feel. If you know what I mean, comment, "I almost gave up, but I didn't." Because that resilience, that's your calling card. That's what heaven saw, Dot. It was never about being the strongest, Dot. It was about being willing. Willing to believe with no proof. Willing to continue with no applause. Willing to trust without a roadmap. And that willingness, that's what made you the chosen one, not your perfection. Your perseverance, Dot. In a moment, I'll show you why the silence you feared was actually encoded with your next breakthrough. But first, let's name something sacred. The delay wasn't denial, Dot. It was refinement. Because what's coming to you in that small dot, and small vessels can't hold great purpose. You are being stretched, Dot, reshaped, Dot, reinforced, Dot, not punished, prepared. That's why it didn't come earlier. That's why it felt like it passed over you. Because the thing you've been preparing to carry isn't fragile, Dot. It's generational, Dot. It's meant to change not just your life, but those connected to you. And the bigger the ripple, the deeper the stillness before it. You didn't survive the silence. You partnered with it. And because of that, you are now aligned with the kind of power that doesn't beg to be seen, Dot. It simply moves. And the universe moves with it. If this message is landing inside you, don't let it stay internal. Like this video to declare, "I'm not waiting in vain." And comment, "The silence trained me." Because your words are signals conversion to the very miracle that's been circling your life. And now, you're different. You don't walk the same. Your silence sharpened your discernment. You don't tolerate what you used to. You don't entertain what drains you. Why? Because now you know what alignment feels like, and you refuse to lower your frequency to chase what you once begged for. You no longer knock on locked doors. You wait for the ones meant for you to swing open because they will. You're no longer looking for direction. You are the compass now. You're no longer waiting for clarity. You embody it. And every delay that once broke your heart now makes sense. Because if it had happened, then you might have called it a blessing while using it to avoid your own becoming. Now, you won't misuse what's meant for you. You'll multiply it. You'll honor it because you finally know how. And here's the beautiful twist. What was delayed was actually being protected. You didn't miss it, It was being wrapped into Ming so you wouldn't drop it when it arrived. And now, you're ready, not just ready to receive, but ready to hold. You don't fear the pause anymore. You don't panic when the room goes quiet, because now you know stillness is sacred. It's where blueprints are whispered, where the divine gives instructions that only the attuned can hear. And you've become fluent in that frequency. In part 3, we're going even deeper into what's about to shift external. That your internal frequency has changed. Because when your energy evolves, your reality follows. And chosen one, that shift, it's already in motion. There's something happening inside you. You've felt it. You've noticed it in the small ways. The way your thoughts have shifted. The way peace finds you in the middle of old storms. The way your body reacts differently to chaos. It's not randomness. It's not coincidence. That is realignment. That quiet inside you, that growing restlessness, that unexplainable anticipation. It's not anxiety. It's recognition. Your soul knows. Before your eyes ever catch up, your spirit knows. You are standing in the doorway of your miracle. And in just a moment, I'll tell you the one truth your silence was trying to teach you all along. The truth that flips everything. But first, let's talk about what this silence actually built in you. Because the version of you that entered is not the version standing here now. The waiting broke something in you, yes. But it also built something. It deepened your well of strength. It expanded your capacity to believe without proof. Taught you how to listen not just with ears, but with your entire being. And now, That kind of awareness? It's your superpower. You sense things others miss. You see signs where others see coincidences. You're tuned into the frequency of miracles. And the silence? That long, cold, confusing silence? It trained your soul like nothing else could. Pause right now. Ask yourself, what if the thing you thought was working against you was actually custom designed to shape you? If that just hit differently, comment, "I'm not the same," below, because you're not. You're not just walking into change. You're walking into transformation. You're not the same person who cried for answers. You're the one who stayed when it made no sense to, the one who moved forward without a map dot, and that's exactly why you're the chosen one. You believed without seeing. You held on when surrender felt safer. You stayed faithful when logic gave up. And now the reward is approaching, not as a prize, but as a reflection. This miracle isn't about you getting what you wanted. It's about you becoming who you were always meant to be. Every no was a redirection. Every delay a recalibration. Every unanswered prayer a better outcome being prepared. It didn't come early, because early would have ruined it. And now you're ready. Not just ready to receive, but ready to hold it. Protect it. Multiply it. If this resonates in your bones, if you felt that whisper through your silence, go ahead, like this video to seal it. And if you haven't already, subscribe, because your alignment isn't just near. It's happening now. And we're walking through this together. You're not chasing anymore. You're becoming. You're no longer the seeker. You've become the signal. And that's why what has been circling you for so long is finally ready to land. Because miracles don't come to the loud. They come to the aligned. They land in places where space was made. Where intention met. Surrender. Where readiness replaced desperation. In the next part, I'll show you how the universe recognizes when your frequency has shifted and the surprising way it begins to rearrange people, places, and timing all around you. Hint, it's already happening. Stay tuned, because you're not becoming the person who gets the miracle. You re-becoming the miracle itself. The miracle is not on its way, already entering. You can feel it. In your breath. In the way your thoughts settle. In the moments of stillness that used to feel empty, but now feel sacred. The world around you may look unchanged, but you're not the same. The energy has shifted. The veil is lifting. And what once felt far away is now pressing right up against your reality. Don't ignore that sudden text. That dream that won't let go. That unexpected call. Those are not random. They're alignment signals. Comment, the veil is lifting, if you've been feeling this magnetic shift, because the miracle isn't loud, but it is undeniable. Here's what's really happening behind the scenes. What once was hidden is now being revealed. What once was stalled is gaining speed. What once felt gone is rising again. But not because something outside of you changed, because you changed. The silence didn't steal your power. It refined it. It expanded your ability to hold light without collapsing under its weight. And now that the veil is thinner, you can feel the hum of destiny moving toward you. You are not waiting for the miracle. The miracle was waiting for you. To catch up. To calibrate. To evolve into someone who doesn't chase blessings but embodies them. That's what has shifted. The pain didn't disappear, but it no longer defines you. The fear didn't vanish, but it no longer dictates your steps. You've become someone who walks with quiet confidence, someone who doesn't need thunder to believe in rain. And that subtle shift? It's cosmic. In just a moment, I'll share why your current restlessness is a divine signal, not of lack, but of arrival. But first, let's name what's truly unfolding here. You're not asking anymore. You're listening. You're not doubting anymore. You're discerning. You don't pray from panic. You speak from presence. That alone is evidence. You're no longer chasing alignment. You are alignment. And the universe? It always answers what aligns. If this resonates with where you are right, no pause. And like this video to anchor it. subscribe if your spirit whispered yes somewhere in this message, and comment below what synchronicities you've seen lately. They're part of the confirmation. You've noticed it, haven't you? The people drifting away, the conversation shifting, the sudden need to clean your space, protect your energy, move in silence. That's not anxiety. That's arrival preparation. The miracle doesn't enter chaos, it settles into clarity. And clarity is what your soul is now vibrating with. You no longer beg for proof, no longer ask for signs, because now you feel them. And that's how miracles find their way not to the loud, but to the attuned. In part 5, we'll explore the final step. Why what's about to happen in your life may look subtle on the outside, but will echo through every corner of your destiny. Because chosen one, this isn't just a miracle, it's a homecoming. And it's already begun. You've probably noticed that the world hasn't changed, but your perception of it has. Things look the same, but they don't feel the same, Why? Because the veil is thinning, not just around you, but inside. You, what once felt real now feels distant. What once felt solid now feels hollow. And what you used to tolerate, you now outgrow before you even understand why. You're not broken. You're becoming tuned. Ever walked into a room and felt like the energy was off, but you didn't have words for it? That's not hypersensitivity. That's your spirit adjusting to alignment. Comment. I feel the shift in places I used to feel safe. If you've experienced this lately, because your environment isn't rejecting you, it's responding to your evolution. You're not crazy. You're conscious. And consciousness comes with consequences. You no longer sit in what drains you. You no longer chase what confuses you, because now you notice everything. The way people speak, the pause between their words, the energy behind their silence. Your discernment has sharpened. Why? Because clarity always increases when the veil lifts. In a few moments, I'll share why people, patterns, and even parts of you may suddenly begin fading. But first, let's honor this truth. You've crossed a threshold. A spiritual threshold. The kind you can't uncross. The kind that shifts atmospheres before you say a word. The kind that doesn't announce itself but reorders reality as soon as you walk into it. That's what alignment feels like. It's not loud. It's not flashy. It's subtle but undeniable. Your silence used to feel like exile. Now it feels like elevation. And that shift? That's spiritual intelligence. That's your soul finally taking the lead. If this is your experience, if you feel your internal compass leading you through unknown terrain, pause and like this video. It's not just support. It's an anchor. A signal back to the energy that's guiding you. And in the comments, write, I'm no longer who I was. Because your declaration aligns your vibration. The truth is how you didn't grow alone. You were grown by the very stillness you tried to escape. The universe didn't forget you. It was forming you. And now you're stepping into environments that match your refinement, opportunities you once weren't ready for. Feel natural. Conversations that used to drain you, bore you. You've become immune to the things that once seduced your attention. That's not numbness. That's discernment. You've moved into a spiritual authority, not through ego, but through endurance. You didn't fight the silence. You sat inside it. And because of that, your energy speaks before you do. That's why things feel quieter now. It's not the absence of activity, it's the presence of accuracy. The movements are cleaner. The message is clearer. The space between moments? Sacred. This is where real miracles land. Not in the noise, but in the space you created after the noise. People may say, you've changed. And they're right. You've changed so deeply that even you don't fully recognize who you were before. And that's okay. Because becoming who you are now meant shedding skin you didn't realize you'd outgrown. You're not walking in the same direction anymore. You re-walking in a new timeline. And everything that belongs to that new timeline, is now beginning to find you. In part 5, we'll explore how your inner peace will begin to rearrange outer reality, why things will start coming to you now without force, without effort, without panic. But first, you must fully let go of what no longer matches your new frequency, because not everything that was once familiar can walk with you into what's next. So take a deep breath. You're not in limbo. You're in launch. The veil hasn't just lifted, it's dissolved. The miracle doesn't need to knock anymore. It's already turning the handle. Your only task now, keep your heart soft, your awareness sharp, and your energy clean, because what's coming already sees you. There is no more waiting, not because the miracle is arriving, but because it has already begun to unfold. You can feel it in the small shifts, in your breath, in your instincts, in the strange peace that settles over you without a reason. That peace, it's not silence. It's arrival. You're no longer chasing. You're no longer proving. You're no longer begging the future to find you, because now you've remembered who you are. And that remembrance? That's the frequency that miracles can't resist. They don't land where noise lives. They land where clarity has made a home. And now, chosen one, you are that home. Pause, feel your body. Notice how different it feels to know, not hope, not wish, but know that something has shifted. If that resonates, comment, it's here. Because speaking it activates it. You no longer look for signs. You are the sign. You don't seek permission to believe. You walk in the knowing that you are aligned. Your pace has changed. Your energy is stabilized. Your prayers no longer come from further, come from presence. You're no longer surviving the timeline. You're embodying it, and the miracle it once felt miles away has already recognized you. You're attracting without effort, receiving without resistance. Becoming without chasing. This is not magic. This is maturity. A deep soul knowing that says, I've already become the version of me that the miracle was designed for. If this video confirmed what you've been sensing all along, like it, to anchor your alignment. Comment below with, I'm ready to hold it. And subscribe, because you are no longer just hearing this, are living it now. The universe no longer tests you. It trusts you, because the version of you that once feared the silence now respects it. The version of you that once begged for signs now interprets them like second language. And the version of you that once felt behind now walks in divine timing. You don't push anymore. You allow. You don't perform anymore. You embody. You don't strive anymore. You attract. The miracle didn't need more of your effort. It needed more of your truth. And now that truth has settled into your bones. It reflects in your choices. It vibrates in your presence. It flows in your silence. You no longer need the world to recognize it, because you recognize it. And that's all the miracle needed to begin. This isn't just a new chapter. This is a new you. A you that doesn't beg the light but radiates it. You that doesn't fear uncertainty, dances with it. A you that knows deep, stable, certain that what's yours has already found you. And now, all you have to do is receive. You've noticed it, haven't you? You don't need as many words anymore. You don't need to explain yourself. You don't feel the urge to convince people of your worth, because something has settled inside you. Something sacred. Unshakable. It's the quiet knowing that you are already enough. Not because you've done more, but because you've become more true. You no longer fear missing out, because you now trust what misses you was never meant to meet you. And what's meant for you, it doesn't rush. It arrives on time. The universe doesn't reward striving. It responds to alignment. And now finally your energy is aligned with what you've been praying for. Have you noticed? You've stopped searching for signs, because now you've become one. Comment, I am the sign, if this speaks to the shift you've been feeling deep in your chest. Because you don't just believe anymore, you remember. Every part of you that once lived in panic is now breathing in peace, Dot, not because your life is perfect, but because your perspective has changed. That's the real miracle. The shift you can't fully explain, but also can't deny. The calm after the fire, the clarity after the fog. The presence that now lives in your steps. You used to beg the sky to open. Now, you walk like someone who knows the sky follows them. And it's not arrogance. It's attunement. You've learned to live in rhythm with the divine. Not just to hear it, but to respond to it. You wake up and breathe deeper. You notice the way the light falls through your window. You hear things differently, people, music, even silence. Because now, you're not just hearing with your ears. You're hearing with your spirit. In a moment, I'll tell you why some things may start falling away soon and why it's not rejection, but redirection. But first, let's honor what's already here. You've outgrown the old frequencies. That's why certain places now feel too loud. Why some relationships feel like they no longer fit. Why what once drained you now feels impossible to tolerate. It's not that you've become distant. It's that you've become elevated. And elevation doesn't always come with applause. It often comes with isolation. But that's okay, because you've learned how to be full even in silence. You've become whole in the waiting. If you're feeling that disconnection from the old, don't rush to replace it. Let it leave. Instead, like this video to say, I'm not afraid of the space I've cleared. And in the comments, write, I'm prepared for what's next. Because what's next needs that space you've just created. You're not entering the miracle. The miracle is entering you. You've become the vessel, the sacred container, the safe space where divine timing can settle without resistance. Where flow can flourish. That's why things have slowed down. That's why things may have felt still. Because the universe only pours into vessels that won't leak what's given. And you've been sealed. What used to make you flinch now makes you smile. What used to make you panic now makes you pause. You don't react, you respond. You don't collapse, you breathe. You don't explain, you embody. That's not just growth. That's spiritual evolution. The kind that can't be bought, can't be taught, can only be earned in the furnace of silence and the fire of faith. You've walked through the valley. You've sat with the questions. You've let the pain rearrange you instead of define you. You could have given up, but you didn't. And because of that, you are now magnetic to everything that requires a deeper frequency to find. Your energy speaks before you enter the room. Your alignment opens doors before you knock. And the miracle? It doesn't need to be loud. It just needs to be recognized. And your spirit, it recognizes it. Don't question the soft shifts. Don't underestimate the quiet answers. Don't overlook the gentle arrivals. Because this time, the miracle isn't crashing in like thunder. It's slipping in like light. It's showing up in the ease. In the clarity. In the way things now come to you instead of you chasing them. That is your confirmation. That is your evidence. That is your arrival. You are not who you were when this silence began. And you'll never have to go back to that version of you again. From this point forward, you don't manifest from pressure. You magnetize from peace. You don't perform for worthiness. Sit in remembrance. You don't ask, is it coming? You say, it's here. Because now it is. And so are you. There's a peace in you now that doesn't come from answers, but from trust. You're no longer seeking closure. You're no longer afraid of not knowing, because something has shifted inside. You've stopped demanding certainty and started embodying clarity. And that clarity? It's not loud. It's not even always comfortable, but it's stable. You don't flinch like you used to. You don't apologize for sensing what others ignore. You don't fight to be seen anymore, because now you see yourself. And that is the beginning of every miracle. When you stop waiting for someone else to name your worth and decide to walk in it. Let this land. You're not watching this. By accident, you didn't stumble on this message. We're magnetized to it, Dot, and that's your confirmation. If your spirit whispered, "This is for me," comment below, the miracle has found me. Because naming it activates it, Dot, all this time. You thought you were waiting for the miracle. But the miracle was actually waiting for you to realize you've already become its home. That's why things are moving without effort now. That's why opportunities are calling your name without force. That's why your presence alone is opening doors you used to knock on for years, Dot, because now you're not chasing anymore. You're resonating. And when you resonate with truth, you attract what matches that truth. Soon, you'll notice things accelerating even more. People returning, Dot, ideas flowing, answers coming before you even ask the question. And when it happens, then call it luck, Dot, call it alignment, Dot, because luck is random. This is precise, Dot. This is the divine rearranging itself around your readiness. If this resonates deep in your being, don't keep it inside. Like this video to lock in your frequency. Subscribe so we can walk together through what's next. Because this isn't the end of your miracle. It's just the part where you finally realize you were never separate from it. You've stopped chasing light because now you carry it. And wherever you go, whatever you touch, whoever you become from here, you can not as someone waiting to receive, but as someone who already knows they are the blessing. And that chosen one changes everything.